The Passeggiata del Terrapieno and the Giardini Pubblici, promenade and public gardens. Walking past the church of San Cesello, we take Vico Settimo San Giovanni, the alley with the stairs on the left. We turn left in Via San Saturnino and go up another flight of stairs to find ourselves in the Terrapieno. Viale Regina Margherita, mainly known as the Terrapieno, is one of the most beautiful promenades of Cagliari, thanks to its centuries-old pine trees and its spectacular view, which includes the Campidano Plains, the Sette Fratelli, and the Serpedi Mountains, and the blue sea that marks the horizon. The Terrapieno, flanked on one side by the bastion of Castello, curls along a winding line up to the Giardini Pubblici. The project for opening the road that crosses the moat of the fortifications to road traffic was conceived during the first decades of the 19th century, but it was carried out only in the mid-century thanks to the leveling of the Terrapieno and its transformation into a boulevard with trees and benches. The promenade was completed with a large number of flower beds in the 1930s with a project by architect Ubaldo Badas, which included also the building of the open-air school E Mereu near the Gate dell'Avanzata, as well as the readjustment of the open-air gym in the plain of the rampant of the Palazzo Reale. The modern layout of Piazza Marghinotti was conceived to connect Terrapieno to the neighborhood of Villanova below, making it the promenade par excellence of the citizens of Cagliari, at least until the 1960s. On the inner side of the promenade there are some beautiful Art Nouveau villas and the premises of the main important newspaper of the island. Going up towards the end of the Terrapieno, after a huge forecourt which is a junction with Viale San Vincenzo and Via San Saturnio, we get to the entrance of the Giardini Pubblici, public gardens. These gardens were realized during the first half of the 19th century outside the building of the Polveriera powder magazine, which at that time was part of the arsenal of the town. In 1840, Municipality of Cagliari purchased it to make it a public garden, and it acquired a definite layout during the second half of the 19th century, when its plants, including valuable species of ficus, jacaranda, holm oak, palm tree, and other exotic plants, were fully grown, and the main boulevard was embellished with round squares, fountains, and some statues, among which we mention a woman's statue of the Roman times, a replica of the Grand Ercolanense placed in the main path near the gallery. The main gate of the Giardini Pubblici was designed by architect Ubaldo Badas in a racialist style, and it was completed in 1939. In 2005, the municipal administration decided to restore and rearrange the gardens, restoring the original layout, which had changed through time. The garden is built on made grounds. It is narrow and long and is crossed by a path of about 300 meters, which starts from the main gate and leads to the former building of the Polveriera, now the Galleria Comunale d'Arte. The widest part of the garden, on the right for those who walk through the path starting from the main gate towards the Galleria, has a huge lawn with imposing trees, oak and olive trees, phoenix plants, 2 gigantic specimens of Ficus macrophylla, as well as thick shrubs of the maquis. There is a more secluded lateral path running along the walls of Viale San Vincenzo, from which you can enjoy the view onto the gardens and the landscape of the Campidano. Right below the rocky ridge, at the left side of the entrance, there is a garden of palm trees. Following this direction, you arrive to a huge forecourt, on which its left side, before the sloping road towards San Lorenzo, you can see entrances to some grottos in the rocks, which were used as hideouts during World War II and as makeshift houses during the post-war period. The garden is very popular, and it is a place where children can play and elderly people can rest. In the summer, it is used as an extension of the Galleria, and the court in front of it often hosts film screenings, cultural events, and theatrical performances. Galleria Comunale d'Arte, optional. At the end of the main path of the Giardini Pubblici, in the building of the former Polveriera, is the Galleria Comunale d'Arte, the Municipal Art Gallery. The building was erected at the end of the 18th century, and it was used as the Royal Powder Magazine. In 1822, it was restored because an explosion had destroyed part of it. The new building, designed by military engineer Carlo Boadi Buttifigari, was used as barracks and depots for a long time. In 1933, the building was chosen to house the Galleria Comunale d'Arte. The construction and restoration works were assigned to the designer of Cagliari, Ubaldo Badas. Its neoclassical facade, erected in 1828, is the only reminiscent of the 19th century building in the middle of where there is a projecting vestibule. In 2003, the Archivio Storico, historical record, and the Biblioteca Comunale, municipal library, were moved to other premises. So thanks to some restoration works, it was possible to enlarge the exhibition area, including now all the rooms of the ground floor, as well as a large part of the first floor. The Galleria hosts two remarkable art collections, the Collezione in Grao and the Collezione Artisti Sardi del Novecento, Sardinian artist collection of the 1900s. The Collezione in Grao was given to the municipality of Cagliari by the heirs of the collector Francesco Paolo Ingrao in 1999. The Collezione Artisti Sardi del Novecento started in 1933. At the beginning, it included only pieces of the art of the Mostre del Sindacato Regionale Fascista Belle Arti, exhibitions of the Fascist Fine Arts Union, but over the years, others have been added, some of them purchased by the municipality, while some others have been donated. Inside the Galleria Comunale d'Arte, there is also a library specialized in history of art. The exhibition area of the Galleria, divided into 13 rooms on both the ground and first floor of the building, displays about 250 selected pieces of work of the Collezione in Grao. It is also possible to visit 3 storerooms on the ground floor containing many other pieces of art, including paintings, drawings, graphics, terracotta items, bronzes, plasters, marbles, and wooden statues. These pieces of work date from the mid-19th century to the end of the 20th century and represent the different art movements which characterized the Italian scenario over the years. The Collezione Artisti Sardi del Novecento is displayed in 2 rooms on the ground floor and consists of 74 pieces of work, including paintings and sculptures dating from the beginning of the 20th century to 1970. And they offer an exhaustive view of the art and history of the Sardinian culture